Campaigners for Scottish independence may have lost the referendum, but they're not necessarily defeated. Some of those among the grassroots are still energised. The question is, to what is that energy being directed? Let's talk to one. Carol Fox, who joins us from Edinburgh, a member of the group Women for Independence. Good morning to you, Carol.
Good morning.
And actually, we should say you were a member of Labour, weren't you? And you were even a candidate in Edinburgh West, I think, weren't you?
I was a member for 30 years and I was a candidate 3 times, and I resigned from the Labour Party, having lost all faith and confidence in the party last year. Throughout the campaign, however, I still was receiving emails asking if I would like to pay £5 and come and help them campaign for no. There were quite a lot of us on the yes side. We're still getting emails from the Labour Party.
Their mailing lists, obviously,
their membership lists are well out of date. With some people who'd left in 1997, we're still getting emails. So I think they've got a lot of work to do.
Your energies went from Labour then to the campaign for independence. What do you do now? Does the campaign fold? Women for Independence, is the group going to fold up?
Absolutely not. Women for Independence have 2,000 members with over 10,000 followers, which I would say is more than the Scottish Labour Party. We've 40 groups throughout Scotland, and we've already organised a conference for the 4th of October, which is fully booked for over 300 women, with the same on a waiting list, and we're now looking for a larger venue. The basis of Women for Independence was a cross-party, no-party campaign based on the issues of democracy and equality. We're going to regroup to ensure that our voice has a significant influence on Westminster politics and Scottish Parliament politics.
So it's not that you're not accepting the result of the referendum and are trying to keep the argument going. It's that you're the progressive causes, whatever you want to call them, that you supported along with independence need to still be promoted, and that's what you'll do now.
Yes, absolutely. That's what we'll do now. And it's interesting listening to what's happening in the Labour Party and in the Conservative Party, where they're trying to make things very complicated. It's not complicated at all. That's the third referendum that I've lived through in my life. The first vote I ever had was on the 1st of March 1979, when we were promised more powers and we didn't get them. What we did get was 18 years of Thatcher and the Tories, and Scotland's not going to put up with that. We're disappointed that we didn't get over the line. Obviously, we have to accept that's democracy, but you don't give up on the causes that you believe in. And the difficulty that the Labour Party has is that the 40 Scottish Labour MPs are about to implode into a black hole of their own making. What they should do is accept what's happened in Scotland, and everyone who got off that no bus and arrived at the Labour Party conference, the Glasgow MPs in their constituency, people voted yes. Now they have to accept that and recognise that. I'm a lawyer. If I'd pitched up in court and started making submissions for people I didn't represent, I would be told to sit down. It can't be acceptable that Labour politicians think that they can still have votes in the UK Westminster government on areas that they don't have any responsibility for.
To be clear, Carol, you're supporting, I mean, you wouldn't phrase it like this, you're supporting David Cameron when he says the English must have their own devolution as well.
I'm highly sceptical of the vow and the promise that was printed in the front page of the Daily Record last week at the very end of the campaign. I don't think the front page of the Daily Record has any legal standing.
Well, we won't have to wait long. We won't have to wait long to see whether it comes to about. But the English question, you think the English question does need to be addressed at the same time?
The English question is just the same question we've been dealing with here. It's about democracy. It's about very important principles of democracy. And I think that the Labour Party will not have this problem because we're organising, and there's been discussions over the weekend about a Yes Alliance standing candidates in Westminster so that there will be fewer Labour MPs. The SNP MPs at Westminster have a self-denying ordinance that they don't vote in matters which are devolved to the Scottish Parliament. I don't understand why the Labour Party doesn't just accept that as the ethical and moral and right thing to do. And because if either David Cameron or Ed Miliband do not deliver on this vow, promise, pledge, or whatever they wish to call it, we are not going to go away, and we are going to campaign for democracy, for a fairer and more equal society,
and if there was,
a prosperous economy that's shared by all.
If there was a Yes campaign with its own ticket, separate from the SNP, separate from Labour, obviously, you would not vote on English issues if you got elected to the Westminster Parliament.
I would not. If they were devolved to the Scottish Parliament, I would not.
On the equivalent issues.
I think it's a matter of democracy. Yeah. And I would say to the English people listening, get outside, talk to your neighbours and start a grassroots movement. Don't rely on the political parties. That's what's been wonderful about the Yes campaign. It's a grassroots movement. It's moved beyond party politics. The English people need to revive their own democracy.
Hate to interrupt. We were actually already 2 minutes over. Carol, thanks very much.